Welcome back to Springside School, where we learn to wise up by listening to stories about God's Word. Before we head to school, let's sing our special song, Wise Up.
Wise up, y'all. Wise up, come on.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up. Hey, every day we choose to wise up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Wise up, y'all. Wise up.
Lean in.
To the back, to the front.
Listen up.
Jump.
Don't let your day slide away.
Slide left, slide right.
Work hard.
Fist pump.
Wise up.
Come on.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Hey.
Every day we choose to wise up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Wise up, y'all.
Lean in.
To the back, to the front.
Listen up.
Jump.
Don't let your friends bring you down.
Get down.
Keep your heart turned up.
Get up.
Wise up. I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Come on, y'all.
Every day we choose to wise up.
Hey.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Come on.
Every day we choose to wise up. Lean in.
To the back, to the front.
Listen up.
Jump.
Don't let your friends bring you down.
Get down.
Keep your heart turned up.
Get up.
Wise up. I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Yeah.
Every day we choose to wise up. I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Wise up.
Wise up. I'm gonna listen and do wise up.
Hey.
Every day we choose to wise up.
Come on.
I'm gonna listen and do wise up. Every day we choose to wise up.
It's time to wise up, y'all.
Wise up.
Wise up.
Are you ready to meet up with Jordan and Zippy? Let me hear you count down with me from 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, action. I'm really enjoying Springside, but I wish they had another way to do attendance.
It doesn't really bother me. I'm getting used to it.
But let's just not forget that it's scanning our butts. Why isn't that strange to anybody else?
Welcome, students! I'm very happy to have you here today. There is something very special in store for you. Our related arts today is going to the library. So make sure you talk as loud as you can and make as much noise as possible. After related arts, we will go to lunch, where you will get to have anchovy burritos, cactus cookies. Oh, be careful with those prickly parts. And lastly, to wash it all down, you will have pumpkin juice. Now, I'd like to give you some wise words that will help you wise up while you're here at Springside. These words are from Proverbs 12:26. They say, "Godly people are careful about the friends they choose." So today, I want you to make sure that you are making the wise choice when choosing friends. It makes me very glad to say that all of you are my friends. Have a good day!
Speaking of friends, I made 2 friends on the playground yesterday. Their names are Frank and Stein. They are so awesome.
Oh yeah? What makes them so awesome?
First of all, they are hilarious. They were telling me about the time they took a spelling test and wrote the answers on their arms. The teacher didn't even notice. How funny is that?
That's not...
And then Frank was telling me a time he played a trick on his little sister. He tied her shoes together, and when she got up, she fell down. Oh man, I wish I could have seen that. It must have been so funny.
Look, Zippy, I think you should rethink who you've chosen to be friends with.
Whatever, Jordan. You're just jealous that I have such cool friends and you don't.
Hey Zippy, so me and Stein both lied to our parents today and told them that we were sick. How genius is that? I've been over at Stein's house and we're working on hacking into the school's computer system.
Yeah, and now that we're hacked in, we can talk to whoever we want, and you're never going to believe what we're going to do next.
We're going to hack into Coach Couch's office and make him believe that we're stuck inside the chalkboard.
Yep.
I mean, we all know that Coach Couch isn't the brightest crayon in the box. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we'll let you know how it goes. See you later.
Look, Zippy, I'm really concerned about your friendship with Frankenstein. They've been doing the wrong things. They lied to their parents, they're hacking into the school computer, and they're not being respectful to Coach Couch.
They're just having fun and not really hurting anyone. It's just a little joke.
No, Zippy. Eventually, if you stay friends with Frankenstein, the stuff they do will rub off on you, and then you'll be acting bad too.
Lay off, Jordan. You haven't even given my friends a chance. I know you'll like them. Everybody else does.
Oh yeah? Do you think they listen to Miss Wise's wise words that she teaches us? I don't think they're trying to wise up. They're on the wrong path.
Oh man, Zippy, I wish you were with us just now.
Oh, man.
You should have seen the look on Coach Couch's face. He seriously thought we were inside the chalkboard. I mean, at first he's panicking, and then we just disappeared. Oh man, it was seriously hilarious. You have got to come with us next time.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sneak into Chef Cook's kitchen and take some of her cactus cookies, and then we're gonna put them in all the teachers' chairs tomorrow morning. But when the teachers go to sit down, they're gonna end up with a prickly behind, and it's gonna be epic.
But since we're obviously not at school, we need your help. We need you to go to Chef Cook's kitchen and steal as many of those cactus cookies as possible. Then, after school, come over to Stein's house. If you want, you can even put a cookie in Mr. Wright's chair. What do you think?
I just don't.
Zippy, it's time to go to Related Arts.
That was rude. You just cut them off in the middle of a conversation.
That's what you're mad at me about. We'll talk about it when we get to the library. I don't know what you're so mad at me about. Are you really saying you're gonna stay there and talk about stealing from Chef Cook?
Maybe you don't know me. Maybe I wanted to help them with their next prank.
Oh yeah? Well, Frankenstein aren't good friends to you.
You know what? You're not a good friend to me. Now stop bothering me. I'm trying to look for a book. This one's perfect.
Please talk to me.
Talk to the hand.
Hello? Is anyone over here? That seems awfully quiet for a library. Shouldn't there be some yelling or shouting or something? Don't you know that the library at Springside School is the place for all things loud? Well, I'm the librarian here at Springside. My name is Miss Scream and Shout. As you know, Springside School is a little different when it comes to the rules. Here in the library, it's my job to make sure that everyone in the library is making noise and having fun. I love teaching students at Springside to enjoy reading and be as loud as possible. But nothing brings me more joy than seeing my students being wise and doing the right thing. On the very first day of school, 2 groups of students came into the library. One group was loud and talkative, making all kinds of noise, doing exactly what they were supposed to do. But then there was this other group, and they were being super quiet and not saying a word. These students weren't obeying the rules that were clearly posted. Only loud noises, don't be quiet, and never not be talking. I mean, what is so hard about it? Right then, a brand new student, Newman Newberry, walked into the library. Newman saw the 2 groups and knew he had a choice to make. Just then he remembered Proverbs 12:26. Godly people are careful about the friends they choose. He knew at that moment he wanted to choose the friends that were listening to the rules. I was so proud of Newman as I saw him go over to the loud table and start singing at the top of his lungs. He knew that it was important to choose the right kind of friends, and I'm glad he did, because that other group, well, they had to stay after school and burp their ABCs 5 times, backwards. It was exhausting. It's wise to be careful about the friends you choose. That way, they can help you make wise choices. Now, I told you that story to remind you of 2 things. 1, it's important to know that you can choose good friends. And 2, that you can have fun here in the library. So start having fun! Now, where did I put my drum set?
Look, Zippy, I'm really sorry I was so rude earlier. I just wanted you to have good friends.
I've only stolen once in my life, and I felt bad, so I confessed. I don't want to steal, but Frankenstein are my friends, and they are so cool.
Do you really think they're cool?
No, they weren't. You know, after Mrs. Scream and Shout talked about her good friends standing up for what was right, I realized they aren't good friends.
I'm proud of you, Zippy.
You know what? I think I did a good job for picking you as my friend. You stopped me from making dumb choices all day long. I'm sorry.
So, do you want to go play with Mrs. Scream and Shout's drum set?
But first, let's tell Mr. Wright what's happening about Frankenstein before they steal those cactus cookies.
Good idea. I'll go with you.
Wow, that was so close. I am so glad that Jordan was a good friend to Zippy, and he told him not to steal. You know, it is important that we choose good friends who love Jesus and want to do what he says to do. You know, while I'm thinking about it, that reminds me about a story in the Bible. It's about being a good friend. So while I'm telling the story, I want you at home to do something. Every time I say friend, I want you to grab the finger of the person next to you. Now, I know that sounds kind of funny, so let me explain. One of your palms you're going to put flat out like mine. The other one, you have a finger, and you're going to lay it in the palm next to you. And every time I tell the story, if I say the word friend, you try to pull your finger away from that one, and with the other one, you try to grab the other person's finger. It'll make more sense when we start. So why don't you join with me as we tell this story that happened a long time ago. A long time ago, there was a king named King Nebuchadnezzar. And King Nebuchadnezzar was a mean king. And what happened? He went to Jerusalem and took over the land. And then he kidnapped some people and took them all the way back home to Babylon. He wanted these prisoners to be strong and healthy so they could serve him in his palace. Some of the prisoners were brought back to Babylon, and Daniel and 3 of his friends were included. As part of their training, these friends were supposed to eat food and drink drinks from the king's table. But the friends knew this was the wrong thing to do. You see, during this time, people who followed God were not supposed to eat everything. There were certain foods they weren't supposed to eat, and only foods that God allowed. So instead of going against what God said, Daniel and his friends asked if they could eat vegetables and drink water instead. For 10 days, the friends ate only vegetables and water. At the end of those 10 days, Daniel and his friends were healthier and stronger than any of the other prisoners. These friends were wise and did what God said. Because Daniel was wise about the friends he chose, his friends helped him to make the right choice instead of doing something that God had asked them not to do. When you are wise about the friends you choose, they can also help you do the right thing. Wow, what a great story that is, as we hear about Daniel and his 3 friends and how they listened to God and encouraged each other to do the right thing. Just like Jordan did in our story today for Zippy. You know, when we turn off the camera and the episode ends, I would like you to sit with your parents and read this story out of Daniel chapter 1. Now let's close with a couple songs. This very first song talks about how God knows what we feel and he understands. So I want you to be sure that as you're stuck at home and you're missing your school and you're missing your friends and even us at church, and I miss you all too, and it's hard for me, but we need to go to God and understand he knows exactly what we feel. So sing this song and have fun.
You know when I'm lonely, you know when I'm sad, I know. And then you are with me, yeah, you are with me. You know when I'm worried, you know when I'm mad, I know. And then I can trust you, yeah, I can trust you. You don't want perfection, you just want my best. And when my mind is racing, you will give me rest. You know when I'm lonely, you know when I'm sad, I know. And then you are with me, yeah, you are with me. You know when I'm worried, you know when I'm mad, I know. And then I can trust you, yeah, I can trust you. You don't want perfection, you just want my best. And when my mind is racing, you will give me rest. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything.
You are greater than all I feel. You know it all and you always will. I trust in you with all that I've got. Doesn't even matter if I feel it or not. You are greater than all I feel. You know it all and you always will. I trust in you with all that I've got. Doesn't even matter if I feel it or not.
God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. Open my eyes so I can see the wonderful things you have for me. Open my eyes so I can be all that you have planned for me. Head up, head down. Arms to the sky, arms to the ground. Come on now, spin around. Stop. Monkey, monkey with it. Open my eyes so I can see the wonderful things you have for me. Open my eyes so I can be all that you have planned for me. Head up, head down. Arms to the sky, arms to the ground. Come on now, spin around. Stop. Monkey, monkey with it. Head up, head down. Arms to the sky, arms to the ground. Come on now, spin around. Stop. Monkey, monkey with it.
Have a good week, and remember, we'll see you soon.